Check it out, we have two top rated budget phones, both came out this year, the A55 and the CMF Phone 1. These phones share quite a lot of similarities, but they also have their differences, which is what I'll be covering in this video. My name is MELO, I unbox and review cool products. If you enjoy this video, consider subscribing. So first off, there's a big price gap between these two phones, with the A55 being the more expensive one, coming in at around $325, while the CMF Phone 1 is only $199. Now, Samsung hasn't officially released the A55 in the US, but you can order one off Amazon for the cheapest price of $325, with the highest I've seen at $400. The CMF Phone 1 is considerably cheaper, but it still packs a punch. Looking at the design, both phones are very similar in size, only off by a few millimeters. We know the CMF Phone 1 has unique features with the back cover and accessories, but the outer layer is made of plastic silicone and the front is glass, while the A55G has a simple, sleek design made of aluminum and Gorilla Glass. The CMF Phone 1 has the mono speaker, while the A55 has stereo speakers, one at the bottom and another one at the top. Both of these devices also have expandable storage, with the CMF Phone 1 going up to 2 TB and the A55 going up to just 1. And of course, both of these devices come in a variety of different colors. Both of these phones are pretty durable, with the A55 coming ahead as it's IP67 resistant, while the CMF phone is simply dust and splash resistant. And they both have an under-display fingerprint scan, the optical kind. And I did do a fingerprint scan speed test, and the A55 came ahead, but it's hardly noticeable. Speaking of the display, both devices carry beautiful AMOLED screens with 120Hz frame rate. When it comes to brightness, the CMF phone peaks at 2000 nits, while the A55 only peaks at 1000. So quite a big difference in brightness, but I found both displays to be equally enjoyable. These devices are both running on Android 14 OS. The CMF phone here is expecting 2 major upgrades, and the A55 is expected to receive 3 major upgrades. Looking at the chipset, the CMF phone here has the MediaTek Dimensity 7300, while the A55 has the Exynos 1480. I'm going to go ahead and run a CPU benchmark. Alright, so looking at the single core results, the A55 outperforms the CMF phone. It's ranked just above the Galaxy S21 FE, and the CMF phone is ranked just above the A54. As for the multi-core results, the A55 outperforms the CMF phone, and it's ranked just above the Galaxy S22, which has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, and the CMF phone is nearly on par with the Galaxy S21 FE. Now we can go ahead and run a GPU benchmark. As for the GPU results, the A55 outperformed the CMF phone, ranking it just above the A54 and the CMF phone just above the A53. Now when it comes to performance while gaming, there's a slight noticeable difference between the two, but nothing drastic. I've played games like Call of Duty and Genshin Impact, and both were able to run it smoothly, but I did have Genshin on medium and low settings on both devices. Anything higher and you start to see some frame drops and phone heating. But daily usage is smooth and both devices boot up apps pretty quickly. Here's a comparison. pictures on these devices aren't the best. The A55 has 3 rear cameras, a 50 megapixel main camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 5 megapixel macro. The CMF phone only has 1 rear camera, a 50 megapixel with a wide option. Both of these devices have panorama and HDR, and you can record 4K at 30 FPS. As for the front lens, the CMF phone has a 16 megapixel and the A55 has a 32 megapixel camera. The A55 can record 4K at 30 FPS while the CMF phone is locked at 1080. Okay, so obviously there had to be some sacrifices and cuts made so these devices could be on the more affordable side. So there's some features that these devices are lacking. Neither of these devices have wireless charging capability. The A55 also doesn't have Samsung DeX. As for the CMF phone, it doesn't have NFC, a headphone jack, or stereo speakers. Hopefully that's not a deal breaker. On the bright side, both of these devices carry a long-lasting battery, a 5000 mAh battery. The CMF phone can charge at 33 watts and the A55 can charge at 25. The CMF phone also has reverse wire charging at 5 watts. These two phones are both solid budget options. They're quite similar and you couldn't go wrong with either one. Of course, it all boils down to preference, whether you prefer to customize and accessorize your device, or if you prefer a more costly, well-rounded device without the unique customization options. Let me know which one you prefer in the comments below, and if I missed something, please let me know as well. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.